Stock market today analysis for October 17th, 2022. On information that Bank of America beat its earnings by how much? I don't know. Even if it was just by a couple pennies, what does it matter? Maybe it was by more. I have no idea. But nonetheless, because they beat the earnings, apparently we saw a rally in the market with the Nasdaq up 3.43%, S&P 500 up 2.65%, U.S. Treasury 10-year yield down 0.8 basis points, gold up 0.25%, Bitcoin up 1.30%, and oil down 0.25%. So apparently the UK government bond fiscal yada yada is at least getting some good news coverage, while on this side of the ocean we got, that there's really no getting away from financial and monetary crisis information at the moment. So listen to the news with caution, not to avoid it, but don't be very careful about believing anyone unless you know where they get their paycheck from, because whoever is paying them, that's who probably their allegiance lies with those people. But here's something that that generally, the numbers, people can lie who input the numbers, but to make money trading, you don't necessarily have to listen to the news. You have to be able to read the charts and do some fundamental analysis along with technical analysis, and maybe analyze some earnings reports. All right, Bank of America here today. Had some other big ones: Schwab, Bank of New York Mellon. And then tomorrow I got Netflix, Johnson & Johnson, United Airlines, Tesla on Wednesday, Procter & Gamble, IBM, Snapchat, Nokia, American Airlines on Thursday, Verizon, Schlumberger, and American Express this coming Friday. The VIX, the Volatility Index, down 0.65, which is 2.03%. So down a little bit. Interesting. It's maybe people are just getting so comfortable with all this doom and gloom news that they're like, it's the new normal. So VIX down just a little bit. You can see it, boop, right there. MMRI down just a little bit also, right? But nonetheless, these daily fluctuations in there, what does that matter? It's here in the high range, right? Low, moderate, high, extreme. We're in high. We've been in high. We're still in high. We're slowly creeping up towards extreme, right? And this beautiful graph that I created goes back to August 29th. So we were already in the high level of risk in August, and it's just been creeping up with a somewhat steady pace. And one of the factors that go into that MMRI is the Treasury yield, 10-year, TNX, and that was up 0.12%. So a lot of times when this Treasury goes up, the stock market tends to go down. However, we had various stocks going up. So overall, S&P 500, we see it is in this range right here. Volume was a little light, not touching that yellow line. The body of that wasn't a lot of movement, still under all these moving averages. And we really got to, before well, our first really big milestone will be getting above and continuing to stay above the 25-day moving average, and then moving up to the 50. And then getting above the 50, that'll be the next thing, and continuing to stay above the 50. And then the same thing with the 200. So right now, in order to get above that 200-day moving average, we got to make it above that 25-day moving average, which you see has been sloping down. And right now we're kind of caught in this little bit of this price consolidation range here with you see this line kind of being the top of it, this line being the bottom. On the big trend, money, there's not enough money flowing in to turn this green, and our trend has been down for a long time, but with this move up right here, it's starting to get this stochastic to come together. So if our candles keep moving up, then we'll see this potentially cross over. But sometimes what happens, see what happened here, right? So again, this stochastic, this is a lagging indicator. It's not telling us the future, it's telling us what happened in the past. This is telling us the present, giving us an idea of what might happen in the future. And so what happened in the present for the technology sector, right? Similar look on that Pro 2 chart. Similar look here, except we got a smaller body of candle and less volume, and not even giving above this little resistance line. So at least the S&P 500 is up here in this resistance. This one's a little bit below. Another sector, the healthcare sector, helps make up the S&P 500. Hey, look at that. That was helping to push up the S&P 500 today, but still light on the volume. See, not even touching that average volume. With our Pro 2, we see that that downward trend might be changing, right? This one's getting closer to crossing over, but until it's crossed over, it hasn't crossed over. Good news though, we're above the 200-day, the 25-day moving average. The 25-day moving average, and let's see if we continue to close above that 25-day moving average. For the financial sector, we are oh, look at that, above the 25-day moving average, just barely, but really you can see how much it sold. Prices rallied up to here, but got pushed down over here. So it's sort of looking indecision-ish. And similar look on that Pro 2 chart with stronger volume than the other equities we looked at, but it's still a little light there. We're going to put in a new one, XLI, for the industrials. So XLY. All right, okay, volume just a little bit light. Still got the strong downward trend on that that Pro chart, and stronger candle, and it's like basically all these candles. This one we're closing in the top kind of 25, maybe 10% of yesterday's down candle, which is a bullish sign. All right, we're kind of in at least the top 50% on that one. And you know, top 25, 35%, at least we can say it's trading in the top 50% of the range, which that's a bullish sign. Same thing here. We opened in that 50%, closed above it. That's a bullish sign. Okay, top 10% of that bear candle, so that's a bullish sign. Trading in that top 50%, and so yeah, we're stuck in that range. XLI, industrials, we got a similar look. Okay, it's closing below the 25-day moving average. Volume almost touching the average volume. Trend starting to potentially move up if it keeps going. But right now we got to get over this 25-day moving average. IWM, Volume better than some of those other stocks, just a tad bit under the average. Same thing, battling that 25-day moving average. You can see it touched it, but pulled back. Potentially starting to turn up. If it keeps going up, then we'll see that happen a little bit, or a lot more, depending on how much it does. Qs, similar picture over on the Pro 2, in the top 50% of that candle, a little light on the volume, pretty similar. Okay, dollar floating back to this 25-day moving average, and you see back here, touched that 25-day moving average, rallied up, but it made a lower low from there. Here, almost touched that 25-day moving average, rallied up, made a higher high at that time. So we'll see tomorrow. I think this week, actually, once we get through with the earnings season, we'll probably have a much more clear idea. In earnings seasons, maybe things are going to rally up. 20-year treasury via TLT. Sold off today. So generally speaking, as this goes down, stocks would go down. But today, they're not really doing that. But, you know, looking at, even though it closed up, when we see here on the 15-minute chart on the S&P 500, it closed higher than it opened. But look at that. It's basically a sideways day. Technology, basically a sideways day. Healthcare, you know, kind of a sideways day. Even though there was a good shot up in the morning. So on the daily candle, it looks a lot more powerful. But then once it moved up, after like the first half hour of trading, or whatever, 45 minutes of trading, just basically went sideways. Kind of the same for those. So yeah, we will see. I'm personally not thinking we're out of the bear market yet, but it could be the start of a reversal for sure. Oil has dropped down. Now we're still below the 200-day moving average. Now we're below the 50-day moving average, and we're hanging out here above the 20-day moving average with these doji looking candles. And those are, let's see what's going to happen. Is it going to break below? Is it kind of consolidating, or is it going to be building a base, building a roof? We're yet to find out. There's some, you know, various factors that influence the price of oil. So my options trade on this is it's not, as long as oil kind of stays in this area, I will be okay. And this first chance I have at a decent profit, I'm closing that baby out. So let's just keep this oil above that moving average right there. How about GOLD? GOLD has, look at that, dropped down, kind of going sideways right here. We're starting to be in this range of 1659. Even silver, no, don't look at that one, but we're going to look anyways. Look at that. It was up here in the 20s, dropped down here to 18. Bitcoin. Man, Bitcoin's it's not normally doing this, right? Usually it has way more movement. But these candles are just weak. So it just really going sideways, which it had been going sideways, but it was more of a volatile sideways, right? Dropped 6 months, right? 6-month chart. Went sideways a little bit here, dropped down, went sideways, dropped down, sideways from here to here in this range, right? Look at that, right? Kind of up a little bit, and then it raised the ceiling a little bit, but then dropped down. Well, basically, if we go across here, look at that. It's almost, it's a little lower, just a tiny bit lower, but it's still in this range. So maybe this is going to be, you know, the range bound asset. If so, well, golly gee Willie, hope you can find a place to profitably sell options against that. Because if it's just going to go sideways, you could just be selling calls and puts and just letting that expire worthless. S&P 500. Look at this. Little W right there. Little W. See that little W? That's a sign of the, hey, zoom in. There we go. See this little W? Tweet, 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 right there? That might be a sign of the bull. That could be, look at the bull horns. They're just upside down. Speaking of upside down, if it's also an upside down M if you see that the other way. But here is, like for example over here, here was a W, right? But look at how this right hand point is lower than this left hand point. If it's a strong, here's another little W, look at that. And even though this point was a little lower than this one, it ended up rallying up. Ah, look at this W right there. But look at how the left-hand side is significantly lower. See that strength going up? Here's a W, and they're kind of equal, went up. So right now our trend is definitely down, right? We can see that. But maybe it's going to be building a base in this area. So we'll see. We'll see if it can get up here and break through this the top part of the channel or not. This is a great time, past a great time, a wonderful time, a terrific time, an amazing time. Any adjective that gets you excited, insert it in there with these other ones, because that's what it is to be learning how to trade right now. It's a difficult market, so learn how to trade in a difficult market. Don't confuse brains for a bull market. Get your brain smart before the next bull market comes. That way you're not confusing brains for a bull market. You can be profiting with brains. So paper trade, it's amazing. Paper trade. I had a lot of fun paper trading yesterday. The stock market was closed. That's right, the stock market was closed, but there was something else that wasn't closed. I was paper trading, trying out some new things. That's the best thing to do. Don't risk your real money. Paper trade at first. You have an idea, try it out in paper trading. Prove to yourself that you know what you're doing, right? Don't let the market spank your bottom and take your money. Don't learn the hard way. Learn the easy way, paper trade. And speaking of the easy way, go to ihavesuccess.com. Download some stuff. Download all the stuff, right? Send you stuff every day the market's open and Sunday when the market's not open. Anything I can do to help you out, I'm trying to do it. Because, you know, the reason why I'm doing it, it's a selfish reason. It's a very, very selfish reason. If you want to learn something, read about it. If you want to understand something, write about it. If you want to master something, teach it. I want to master the stock market. So I'm doing my best to teach it to other people from the aspect that I'm familiar with. And what I'm familiar with right now is trading in very, very unconducive environments. For example, I live in Hawaii. We're in Hawaiian Standard Time. The stock market trades Eastern Standard Time. So the stock market opens at like 4:30 or 3:30 a.m. in the morning, depending on daylight savings time. On the mainland, we don't do daylight savings time here. So I used to wake up 3:30, 4:30 in the morning to trade. It was not for me. I need more sleep than that to have good health. So thus, I don't do it anymore. And not only is that going on, but I've been working like various jobs that require me to be present, where I can't really be trading while I'm working. So I have this small window to kind of look at the markets when I wake up in the morning before I go to work. You know, unless I'm going to wake up at 4:30, 3:30 a.m. and just can't Can't do that for my health. That's one reason you see all this hair I got. I'm 45 years old. I got a full head of hair. So my health, it's important to me. You know, maybe some other people it's not important to them, but it's important to me. So I like to get my sleep. And so I had to figure out some ways to trade that would allow me to be profitable in this weird time zone thing that I have, and also with not really being able to look at the market too much. So yeah, it's been working for me. And I do some other stuff, but there's like a bread and butter strategy that I do, and I'll give you a hint. It happens to be something with selling cash secured put options. Holy moly. So download that stuff. You can find out all types of cash secured put option stuff on my YouTube channel here. And other than that, you guys have a fantastic day. I'm going to get this uploaded and have a good night. Bye-bye.